Have you ever noticed how some men don't need to say much, yet women instinctively respect them? They don't chase, they don't plead, they don't need to convince anyone. And yet, they command attention, admiration, and respect effortlessly. Today, I'm going to reveal 9 silent masculine traits that naturally make women respect a man deeply. These aren't tricks, tactics, or manipulative games. These are core traits of high-value men. Traits that create natural authority and attraction without you ever having to say a word. So if you're ready to step up, stop being overlooked, and start commanding respect silently, stay with me, because this will change how women perceive you forever. Trait 1. Emotional self-control. One of the most powerful yet often overlooked traits that instantly commands respect from women is emotional self-control. High-value men are not ruled by their feelings. They manage them with precision. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions or pretending to be cold. On the contrary, it means feeling deeply but responding deliberately, rather than reacting impulsively. Women are highly attuned to emotional stability. A man who reacts angrily to minor setbacks, overreacts to conflict, or loses composure under pressure signals insecurity and lack of control. Conversely, a man who remains calm, composed, and measured in any situation communicates strength, maturity, and reliability, qualities that naturally earn respect. This is silent power in action. He doesn't need to assert dominance verbally because his emotional poise demonstrates it effortlessly. Emotional self-control also influences how a man navigates relationships. When disagreements arise, a man with this trait listens, processes, and responds thoughtfully, rather than escalating tension with defensiveness or blame. He creates a safe emotional space, which subconsciously attracts women and signals that he can handle the complexities of life without losing balance. Practical examples abound in everyday life. Whether it's dealing with work stress, handling unexpected problems, or navigating social tension, the emotionally self-controlled man remains grounded. His presence alone reassures those around him, especially women, that he is reliable, strong, and capable of handling life's challenges. In essence, emotional self-control is a silent form of authority. It shows that a man owns himself, not his environment, and that he doesn't rely on external validation. Women respect men who can manage their inner world with calm confidence because it signals stability, strength, and high value, all without the need for loud words or overt displays. Trait 2. Silent confidence. Silent confidence is one of the most magnetic traits a man can possess. Unlike loud, overbearing arrogance, silent confidence is quiet, composed, and unshakable. It doesn't demand attention, it naturally commands it. A man with silent confidence doesn't feel the need to prove himself with words, exaggerations, or displays. Instead, his presence alone communicates a clear message. I know my worth, and I don't need permission to exist. This type of confidence is rooted in self-awareness and competence. A confident man understands his strengths and weaknesses and doesn't hide from either. He approaches life with clarity and purpose, making decisions decisively without second-guessing himself. Women instinctively notice this kind of confidence because it signals stability and security, qualities that are deeply attractive on a subconscious level. Silent confidence also affects how a man carries himself physically. Posture, eye contact, tone of voice, and subtle body language all reflect his inner certainty. Standing tall, speaking deliberately, and moving with intention are all nonverbal ways to express confidence. The key is that it is effortless. It flows naturally from a man who is grounded in himself. Importantly, silent confidence allows a man to remain calm under pressure. When faced with challenges, setbacks, or social tension, he doesn't panic, argue, or overreact. Instead, he maintains composure, analyzing situations before responding. This restraint not only reinforces respect, but also subtly establishes authority in any environment. Ultimately, silent confidence is a quiet form of power that women cannot help but notice. It is self-assurance without arrogance, strength without force, and presence without demand. By cultivating this trait, A man communicates his value in the most natural and compelling way possible, without saying a single word. Trait 3. Purpose-driven life. One of the most attractive and respect-commanding traits a man can have is a purpose-driven life. High-value men don't drift through life waiting for opportunities. They actively create them. They have a clear vision of what they want, both personally and professionally, and they pursue it with unwavering focus. This sense of direction silently communicates strength, ambition, and stability, all qualities that naturally earn respect from women. Purpose gives a man a magnetic presence because it shows he is intentional with his time, energy, and decisions. He doesn't waste energy on trivial distractions or on people who don't align with his values. Instead, he invests himself in meaningful work, self-improvement, and experiences that align with his goals. This creates a silent aura of competence and reliability. Women can sense when a man is living a life of intention versus a life of complacency, and the difference is palpable. Being purpose-driven also shapes a man's interactions. He speaks less about himself unnecessarily, yet when he does, it reflects depth, vision, and insight. He prioritizes actions over words, letting results speak for him. This quiet consistency communicates that he is someone who can be trusted, counted on, and admired. Importantly, living with purpose isn't just about career or wealth. It's about growth, contribution, and self-mastery. Whether it's mastering a craft, building a business, maintaining physical health, or cultivating meaningful relationships, a man with purpose shows he is in control of his life. Ultimately, a purpose-driven life is a silent declaration of value. It demonstrates confidence, competence, and direction without needing validation from others. Women respect men who know where they're going and are actively pursuing it because it signals not only capability, but also the kind of stability and leadership that is rare and deeply compelling. Trait 4. High standards. High-value men silently command respect by having high standards, not only for themselves, but for the people and situations they allow into their lives. Women instinctively respect a man who values himself and refuses to settle for less than he deserves. This doesn't mean being arrogant, rigid, or judgmental. It means knowing your worth and refusing to compromise on the principles, boundaries, and values that define you. A man with high standards doesn't tolerate disrespect, dishonesty, or mediocrity. He doesn't allow others to dictate how he should feel, think, or act. Instead, he chooses carefully who he spends time with, what relationships he invests in, and which opportunities he pursues. This silent enforcement of personal boundaries communicates strength and self-respect, two traits that naturally earn admiration from women. High standards also influence behavior in subtle yet powerful ways. For example, a man who refuses to engage in drama or gossip demonstrates discernment and maturity. A man who maintains his physical, mental, and emotional health shows self-respect and discipline. And a man who expects loyalty, honesty, and effort in his relationships quietly signals that he won't accept anything less. Women are naturally drawn to men who operate from this place of quiet authority. When a man upholds his standards without needing to lecture, argue, or explain himself, his confidence and integrity speak volumes. His actions communicate clearly. I value myself, and I expect others to respect that. Ultimately, having high standards is a silent but powerful form of leadership in everyday life. It shows that a man is guided by his principles, rather than by the whims of others, and it naturally inspires respect, admiration, and attraction. This trait isn't about controlling others. It's about controlling yourself and the life you create, which is what high-value masculinity is all about. Trait 5. Reliability and consistency. Reliability and consistency are traits that silently command respect and admiration from women. High-value men are dependable. They do what they say they will do, follow through on commitments, and show up when it matters most. This is not about grand gestures or flashy actions. It's about being solid, trustworthy, and predictable in the best way possible. Women intuitively sense a man's dependability, And it is one of the cornerstones of deep respect. Consistency builds credibility. When a man consistently handles his responsibilities, treats people well, and keeps his word, he projects a quiet form of authority. He doesn't need to remind anyone of his reliability. It's visible in every action he takes. This subtle strength signals that he is grounded, mature, and capable of handling life's challenges without losing control. Reliability also extends to emotional and relational aspects. A man who is consistent in his behavior, moods, and reactions creates a sense of stability that women instinctively value. They feel safe, understood, and respected around him because they know what to expect. This isn't about being predictable in a boring way. It's about showing trustworthiness and integrity in every interaction. Even small, everyday actions reinforce this trait. Being punctual, returning calls, following through on promises, and consistently showing effort in relationships communicates reliability louder than words ever could. Over time, these repeated behaviors build a powerful reputation. A man who can be counted on in all areas of life. In essence, reliability and consistency are silent signals of strength, discipline, and high value. They demonstrate that a man is not only capable of managing himself, but also of being a stable presence for others. Women respect men who exhibit this trait because it reflects both competence and character, qualities that are inherently magnetic and deeply respected. Trait 6. Physical presence. Physical presence is one of the most subtle yet powerful ways a man can command respect. Women, and people in general, notice how a man carries himself long before they hear him speak. It's not about having a perfect body or being a professional athlete. It's about posture, movement, energy, and the way a man occupies space. A strong physical presence communicates confidence, strength, and authority without a single word being spoken. High-value men understand that their body language is a reflection of their inner state. Standing tall, walking with purpose, maintaining eye contact, and moving with deliberate intent all project a sense of self-assurance. These signals are processed subconsciously by women, who immediately sense the difference between a man who is grounded and one who is unsure or hesitant. Even subtle adjustments like keeping shoulders back, head held high, and a relaxed but alert stance make a man appear naturally powerful. Physical presence also communicates dominance and calm authority. A man who doesn't shrink, slouch, or fidget signals that he is comfortable in his own skin and confident in any environment. He takes up space without being aggressive and moves with intention without appearing rushed. These silent cues make him immediately more attractive and respected, simply because they convey competence, control, and self-assurance. Additionally, developing physical presence is a form of discipline that extends beyond the body. Maintaining strength, fitness, and coordination shows commitment to oneself, which further reinforces respect and admiration. Women intuitively recognize a man who has invested in his physicality as someone who respects himself, and this respect is projected outwardly onto those around him. In essence, physical presence is a silent declaration of strength, confidence, and masculinity. It communicates to the world, "I am here, I am capable, and I deserve to be respected." Trait 7. Mastery of skills. High-value men command respect silently through their mastery of skills. This isn't about showing off or proving superiority. It's about competence, capability, and continuous self-improvement. A man who invests in developing his abilities in multiple areas of life demonstrates discipline, intelligence, and value, all of which naturally earn admiration and respect from women. Mastery can take many forms. It could be professional expertise, a craft, athletic skill, or even social intelligence. What matters is the dedication and competence behind the skill, not simply the skill itself. When a man consistently demonstrates proficiency, he sends a subtle but powerful message. I am capable, I am disciplined, and I can create value. This silent authority is far more compelling than any verbal assertion of worth. Women, whether consciously or subconsciously, are drawn to competence because it signals stability and reliability. A man who knows how to navigate challenges, solve problems, and excel in his endeavors provides a sense of security and admiration. His abilities are a reflection of his character, his patience, persistence, and intelligence. They show that he is committed to growth, not complacency. Mastery of skills also boosts confidence, which further reinforces respect. A man who is proficient in multiple areas of life moves with assurance, communicates with clarity, and carries himself with natural authority. This combination of competence and composure makes him magnetic, not because he demands attention, but because he has earned it silently through his dedication. Ultimately, the pursuit of mastery is a form of silent power. It demonstrates that a man is serious about his life, willing to invest time and energy into becoming exceptional, and capable of adding value to any environment. Women respect men who cultivate competence because it reflects high value, discipline, and an unwavering commitment to self-mastery. Trait 8. Calm authority. One of the most compelling silent traits a man can develop is calm authority. This isn't about being loud, domineering, or controlling. It's about leading and influencing without force, intimidation, or unnecessary words. Calm authority is a form of presence that signals to everyone around you, especially women, that you are confident, capable, and in control of both yourself and your environment. A man with calm authority doesn't panic in stressful situations. He doesn't react impulsively or emotionally when problems arise. Instead, he assesses the situation, makes clear decisions, and takes decisive action. His calmness in the face of chaos communicates strength and reliability, qualities that women naturally respect and gravitate toward. When others are losing composure, he remains grounded, offering silent reassurance through his poise and clarity. Calm authority also shows in social interactions. A man who doesn't feel the need to argue, lecture, or dominate conversations earns respect simply by how he carries himself. He leads by example, sets expectations silently through his behavior, and handles challenges with confidence. This approach communicates competence and stability without demanding attention. It draws it. Importantly, calm authority is a reflection of self-mastery. It signals that a man is comfortable in his own skin, trusts his judgment, and doesn't need external validation to feel secure. Women intuitively recognize this strength and respond with respect, admiration, and often deeper attraction. Developing calm authority is about combining confidence, patience, and composure. It requires discipline, emotional control, and self-awareness. The more a man embodies calm authority, the more he becomes a natural leader in every area of life. This silent power earns respect effortlessly because it demonstrates that he is a man of substance, not just words, and that his presence alone commands attention. Trait 9. Respect for others. The final silent trait that earns deep respect from women is respect for others. High-value men understand that true power and influence are not measured by how they dominate, manipulate, or control, but by how they treat everyone around them, with dignity, fairness, and integrity. Respecting others, regardless of their status, gender, or background, reflects a man's character and self-mastery, and it naturally draws admiration and trust. Women instinctively notice men who are genuinely respectful. This is not about politeness for appearances. It's about a consistent and sincere approach to people. A man who treats waitstaff, colleagues, friends, and even strangers with courtesy demonstrates empathy, emotional intelligence, and moral strength. This shows that he doesn't need to belittle or intimidate others to feel powerful. His confidence and value come from within. Respecting others also extends to maintaining boundaries and fairness. A man who communicates clearly, honors commitments, and avoids manipulation signals that he is principled and trustworthy. Women respect men who can navigate relationships without resorting to drama, coercion, or games, because it reflects maturity and stability, qualities that create safety, attraction, and admiration. Importantly, respect for others amplifies all the other traits we've discussed. It complements emotional control, calm authority, high standards, and silent confidence. A man who embodies respect demonstrates that his strength is not a threat, but a foundation for leadership, guidance, and positive influence. In essence, respect for others is a silent but powerful form of magnetism. It signals that a man is secure, ethical, and self-aware, and that his value is rooted in character rather than appearances or force. Women respect men who cultivate this trait because it reflects integrity, inner strength, and high value, qualities that are rare, compelling, and unforgettable. Now that you've seen the 9 silent masculine traits that earn deep respect from any woman, it's clear that respect isn't something you demand, it's something you earn through action, character, and presence. Emotional self-control, silent confidence, purpose, high standards, reliability, physical presence, mastery of skills, calm authority, and respect for others. These traits form the foundation of high-value masculinity. The beauty of these traits is that they work silently. You don't need to brag, manipulate, or chase validation. The way you carry yourself, the decisions you make, and the values you live by all communicate your worth louder than words ever could. Women, and people in general, can sense it instinctively. Start cultivating these traits one by one. Work on your self-control, sharpen your skills, stand taller, act with intention, and uphold your standards. Over time, you'll notice a shift, not just in how women perceive you, but in how the world respects and responds to you. Remember, true masculine power isn't loud. It's quiet, confident, and unwavering. It's the strength to lead, the discipline to improve, and the integrity to honor yourself and others. Live these traits consistently, and respect will follow naturally. Your presence will speak volumes, your actions will create influence, and the respect you earn will be deep, genuine, and lasting. Now it's time to step into your high-value self, silently command the respect you deserve, and become the man who naturally inspires admiration wherever you go.